Hello, ladies. Welcome to yet another Confidence Leads to Success interview series with me, Elif Köse. I have lost my voice, as you can hear, but I'm still determined to continue having these gorgeous interviews with women who inspire me and empower me. Today, I have got Helen Reynolds here. She is so fascinating. Everything she does, I admire her. All her posts, her blogs, everything. She is true fashion style. She's fashion style guru, everything that you can call her. And I have the honor to have her with us today, and she's going to tell us how she started and how she found the confidence to help other women's confident through their outfits, because I truly believe that fashion has got magnificent part in our confidence. If you're dressed in the right outfit that fits you and reflects your style and your personality, you'll always feel extra confident. I mean, I'm sure Helen will agree with you, with us, but um, I'm going to pop the question to Helen, and welcome, Helen. Good, really
Hi,
good to have you here.
thank you so much for inviting me. You're making me blush with your lovely introduction. Thank you.
Oh, I do. I have been, I mean, we've been in business about the same time now,
Yes.
12 years, and I have been following you from day one, and you have really gone beyond success. It's so wonderful to have you as a friend, as someone we work together. It's so
Yes.
good to have you. So I would love you to tell us how you started and what's your passion behind fashion and styling and helping women find that.
Well, I started my business, as you say, 12 years ago, and it's not anything I ever aspired to do. It's not, I always was employed after university. I went into, well, am I a bit echoey? Is that okay?
I'll mute myself.
Okay. Oh, that's better. Um, I never set out to become an image consultant. I went to university, I got a job, I worked in glossy magazines, not in fashion, but in advertising sales. And I think everything that happens to you happens for a reason, doesn't it? I'm a strong believer in that. And I used to notice when I was working for this big glossy magazine publisher in London, I would notice that it didn't matter how much money I spent on clothes or how many clothes I bought. Sometimes I would put on an outfit, look in the mirror, and just feel fabulous. I'd be like, look at me, I'm killing this outfit. And on those days, I would go into work, I'd be really confident. My behavior would be different to the other days that I'll tell you about in a minute, but I would go in feeling like a bigger, braver version of myself. And I sometimes had to go to really intimidating meetings with fashion directors and the editor of Cosmo and Harper's Bazaar. And it was really, sometimes I had to really push myself out of my comfort zone because actually, naturally, I'm very shy. You wouldn't know it because I'm very good at pretending that I'm not shy. But I used to find that quite difficult. But on the days I was wearing an outfit that I felt good in, I was bossing it, I was fine. But then other days, I'd wear another equally gorgeous outfit and I'd look in the mirror and I'd just know that it didn't suit me. And I never knew why. But what I would tell myself when I looked in the mirror and didn't like what I saw was that I'm not pretty enough to wear this cool outfit or slim enough or my body's the wrong shape. Not this isn't cut for my body, but my body is wrong. All this negativity. And on those days, I'd go to work a much more quiet version of myself. I wouldn't raise my head and ask a question in an intimidating meeting. And on those days, I was probably pretty invisible because we react to people based on how they're behaving. Yes, on how they look, but also on how they behave. And if somebody's behaving in a confident, smiley, head held high manner, we see them, we hear them, and we want to do business with them. And if somebody's mooching around feeling a bit rubbish about themselves, they may as well not be there. And I really tuned into that. I never understood why. As I said, I just kept buying more clothes, buy more, buy more. The next thing will be the thing that makes me feel amazing. And then I had my babies and I left that job. And I had quite a difficult time through pregnancy with various problems and sadness. And eventually I had my two boys. And I came out of that baby bubble and that pregnancy, being pregnant, not being pregnant, being pregnant, not being pregnant, ending up with two boys. and stopping and looking at myself and thinking, well, who am I now? I don't work in that corporate environment. I don't know what to wear anymore. I've not been buying clothes for so long that I don't even know what I want to wear. And it was at that point that I went to see an image consultant myself and realized that it was an accessible service for everybody, not just the rich and famous. And my first experience with an image consultant was really disappointing. But again, I recognized that was meant to happen to me. And I actually came away from that consultation feeling a little bit less of myself than when I went in. Like, she was trying to do my colors and she couldn't work out what my color palette was. And to me, that was not, exciting, and I can wear more colors than I might think. It was that there was something wrong with me, that she can't even do my colors because I'm not pretty enough or whatever. And then
what an experience.
It was quite difficult. I mean, she was a lovely lady, but she couldn't get my colors. And then I went back and did some more work with her for whatever reason, and she took away my long legs. I've always quite liked having long legs, but because there wasn't a box to tick that had, I think I had a long rise and long legs, but that wasn't an option. So I had to have a long rise and short legs or average legs. And I remember thinking, the one thing I'm confident about, you've taken it away from me. So I came home from that one, and my husband said to me, you could do this, And I was like, no, I couldn't. I don't know how to dress people. And he said, you just need to learn it. You're brilliant with people. You're interested in clothes. You certainly buy a lot of clothes. Go and find out how to become one. And I found an independent woman. She wasn't attached to any of the big colour companies. So I think I'd been a little bit, I'd had my fingers burnt a little bit. And I found this fabulous woman that trained me up. And as part of her training, she did all of the things to me that I was learning. So I got my colours done properly. I got permission to have my long legs and a long rise. She sorted out my style so in the other consultation, learning about my style, I just had to tick the pictures I liked. But of course, I like everything, I'm like, yes, I love that, I love this. And so my style was everything. And in this other method, she could see in me what my style was. And that felt good to me as well, that there was reasons why certain outfits that I was putting on before just weren't right for me. There's nothing wrong with me. That those clothes just weren't made for me. And
that's very important. I get to hear from a lot of my clients. They blame they blame themselves, and I always say, no, it's not you, it's the clothes.
Exactly. Those clothes aren't made for you. They're not made for. We're all beautifully different for a reason, and we just have to know which beautiful clothes will make us look and feel fabulous, and which ones to leave for somebody else.
Exactly. It's so important. I had this client once. She came in and she had to wear suits for her work, and as you know, I've started my journey as an alteration lady. They called me alteration lady, and she came in and I looked at her in this suit, and all she wanted me to shorten the sleeves and shorten the length. And I said to her, can I just do a few tricks on it for you? She was like, yeah, go for it. I hate myself. I never suits. And I said, I don't think that's the reason. It's not you, it's the suit that you buy. Anyway, I did my pinning and tuck in there and shorten, pull the shoulders in, and she was still not quite sure because there's all the pins and you can still see the excess material. And she came in to pick it up, and I told her to try it on because I was so proud of my work.
Yeah.
And she burst into tears.
Oh,
she said, I can't believe this. I never thought I could wear suits. And she not only looked taller, she looked slimmer. You could see her figure. Amazing. And she loved herself. She literally just didn't want to take the suit. She just swapped into the suit that I altered and left the shop even taller than she arrived. And
how did that make you feel, to know that you'd made her, you changed her state and the way she sees herself, which is such a powerful thing, isn't it?
It was so good. That was the moment I realized I need to give women choice. We've been like, I have to put by law size on my clothing, and we have to be able to sell them in terms of retail. But as you know, offering my made to measure or bespoke pieces, it makes women feel so much more. They don't have to put a size. All they will say, oh, don't tell me the measurement.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. And
it doesn't
sizing
matter.
In some shops makes me so angry that there's no rhyme or reason for this. And even within certain brands like Zara, for example, that, you know, there's no continue what's the
No
word, continue whatever, there's no whatever
continuity. No continuity. No, that's
across
right.
any of their own sizing. It's absolutely ridiculous. And also I find a lot of women who have, like many women, most women have parts of their body that they're a bit self-conscious of, or they don't think is how it should be. They tend to buy clothes that are way too big for them. And I had a client in my studio the other day, and I just was sort of playing, I had her in front of my big mirror, and I was just pulling her t-shirt back. I said, I just need to see where your waist is. Let's just have a look. And I pulled it back, and even she was surprised. She was like, oh, I'm actually quite slim, aren't I? I was like, yes, you really are. What size are you buying? And she was just buying big clothes almost to hide. And she realized she's probably a dress size smaller than she thinks she is, and feels so much better when she wears clothes that actually fit her properly.
Oh, hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol. I haven't seen Carol for a long time.
Certainly been a few years, hasn't it, Helen?
Yeah, lovely to see you.
Thank you.
So, Carol, Helen, could you also tell me how, what would be your tip to someone just like I've described, that lady who walked into my changing room, to not feel like that? Because a lot of women seem to lack of confidence when it comes to their appearance. And I know that you believe in this. It makes such a big difference for them to speak up for themselves. If they're going to a meeting, if they're going for a date, they'll feel so much better about themselves. Or if they're going to see their girlfriends, again, it will help. Or going out with their partners. I don't know how you would give them tips.
Well, the first thing I always try and make women believe, because it is the truth, is that there's nothing wrong with how anybody is, from face to body to anything. The way you are today is just beautiful, and nothing needs to change. A lot of women who want to come and work with me will say, oh, I need to lose half a stone first. By the time I come, I'll have lost half a stone. And I'm like, no. Do that if you want to do that. That's your choice. But just know that you don't have to do that. You are beautiful as you are. And just to try and notice those parts of you that maybe other people might notice that you're not noticing. So what I mean by that is, Carol will know this too. People will come in and say, oh, it's a problem for me because my boobs are too big. And then the next woman comes in and goes, oh, it's a problem for me because my boobs are too small. And then someone else comes in and says, oh, my bottom's massive. And then someone else comes in and goes, I haven't got a bum. I wish I had a bum. And however you are is perfectly beautiful. You don't need to change it. You just need to start noticing the parts of you that are beautiful. And it's one of the questions I always start with is, what do you like about yourself? And, you know, sometimes it's this part of them that they'd never even looked at before and gone, oh, actually, that is quite a nice part. I'm quite happy to have my necklines open. Or it might be that they've got lovely wrists or hands or eyes or whatever it is, and start encouraging yourself to see what you quite like about yourself. And I can tell you, other women will know what it is about you that is gorgeous. I remember way back when I worked in glossy magazines, commenting, not in a horrible way, just talking to a friend about another friend's figure. And I'd said, oh, she's so slim, isn't she? And my friend had said, oh, do you think? And I was like, yeah, she's got such a tiny waist. She said, yeah, but she's got such a big bottom. And I said, oh, I've never even looked at her bottom. I only look at waist because I don't have a waist. I notice when somebody else has a waist, and I have a really small flat bottom. And my friend has a bigger bottom, so she only ever looks at women's bottoms. So she's comparing all the bottoms, I'm comparing all the waists. And you think, for goodness sake, we're all just how we are, and there's nothing wrong with how we are. It's about educating yourself as to the lines, the seaming details, how and where to wear colour and print, and ways to draw attention to those parts that actually you're quite happy to draw attention to, whatever they are, because there will be parts you just might have to look a little bit harder to identify them. And maybe not disguise, but maybe stop drawing attention to areas that you don't want people looking. Like, I don't want people looking at my boobs or my tummy, so I don't put things on my boobs or on my tummy, because that just draws attention.
It's so good that you tell me. I think what happens with a lot of us, including myself, that we give so much meaning to our size and shapes and the appearance of our body, we forget what we are actually doing for others, and how can you dress it with lovingly, and how you can talk to yourself lovingly. I mean, I would never say, that, like some clients, they, like you say, they come and go, oh, I have got horrible arms. I hate my bust. I just say to them, would you ever say that to your friend? Oh no, I'd never say that to my friend. Think about your brain thinking, I'm not beautiful, I'm not pretty, I'm not. It keeps hearing this back of your head, and how do you expect to feel good?
I have a contact who's a beautician, and she did a series a while ago about loving your body and accepting your body. And one of her tips was simply to, when you're using body lotion, or use body lotion if you don't already. There's so many women who have lovely body lotion that they don't use because they save it for best and then they never use it. But use the body lotion, and when you're rubbing it into your arms, really caress it into your arms and start to feel your body and appreciate that you've got these arms, and just little daily rituals that actually get you in touch with the fact that you're blessed to have the body that you have, and try and make the most of it.
I mean, lately, all these apps that, I mean, right now, even my skin looks flawless, and I have got spots. Because the way now cameras is built, don't compare yourself with people who make themselves look absolutely flawless online, because that's not real.
No. And I do wonder when you see, I've got teenage boys, and I have a little look at their Instagram. They never post anything, but I see who's following them and stuff. And there's all these young girls on there who are clearly totally doing their filters and pulling in their waists and pulling it, because you can tell when a photo's been photoshopped, can't you? And I think, what do they think happens when they go to school or when they go out and they don't look like that? Like, isn't that worse?
It's all in their imagination. They think they look like that image, and they take their photo and look at the photo and say, oh, don't you look pretty in there? And I'm thinking, I'm here.
And all the all the friends are commenting, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful. And you're like, is this all they care about? It's so sad. There's more to life than making yourself smaller waist and bigger bottomed. It's, I mean, they're young, and I suppose it's unavoidable if you're on Instagram, it's all you see, but it really worries me.
It's okay, but this is the problem. I think we need to stop, the young generation, and us included, giving too much meaning to how we look. How it really needs to be more about what we deliver, how we help, what's our gift, what we can do for others, and what we can make each other better. And it doesn't have to be, you don't all have to be an entrepreneur. I'm not saying like it's all about being an entrepreneur, businesswoman. You can be a mother, you can be a housewife, you can be just someone who doesn't need to work, privileged enough that you don't have to work. But don't give that too much meaning that that's the only thing that defines you. That's and of course, important.
In order to be able to share your gifts, whatever they are, you've got to have that confidence. Coming back to that confidence word, and it's confidence that can stop so many women, probably men too, but I think it's more perhaps prevalent amongst women, that we don't have the confidence to get out there and shine and change the world in the way that we feel it needs changing and share our gifts. And it took me a long time. So I've been an image consultant for 12 years now, and I spent a long time worrying that I didn't have a purpose, like I was just an image consultant, and I couldn't connect with what my purpose was, until I started to realize that the majority of the women I was working with and still am, are entrepreneurs or women in business who want to change their corner of the world, and they need to feel more confident so that they can get out there and deliver more and get on camera and do those talks and get those interviews. And I realized that actually my purpose is helping those women to shine so that they can do all the brilliant things that they feel that they're here to do. And once I'd kind of landed on that as my purpose, I was like, that's the one. I'm not here to change the world all on my own. I'm here to help every other woman, not every other woman, women generally.
Well, I mean, think about the ripple effect, Helen. What you're helping hundreds of women, and think about the ripple effect of those women who find the confidence through your help and them helping others, and that is a success. It's marvelous. I mean, I love what you do. It's so brilliant. I was going to ask you this. That was my question. So what would be your tip for someone who's starting their entrepreneurial journey, or who wants to pursue the dream of being an image consultancy or personal styling? What would be your 3 tips for it?
3 tips, right? Okay.
It doesn't have to be 3, it could be 1, 2, or whatever.
We'll see.
You see how it comes.
We'll see how we go. I would say tip 1, something that's helped me massively is having a business mentor or a coach. And the times that I have had one, I've had bigger dreams and bigger goals and got closer to either achieve them or got very close to achieving them. And when I haven't had a mentor, I start to think small. And so I stop being so brave. I think it's helpful to have somebody who has a vision for you bigger than you believe, so they can pull you gently towards that, rather than, I always try and spend time around people who are optimistic like you are. You're just so full of joy, and who believe that things are possible and they're not putting obstacles in the way. And if you surround yourself with too many people who think things are too expensive, or we need to play small and who do we think we are, you can start believing that and stop growing. So I learned that lesson. I had a few years ago, when I didn't have a mentor, and I definitely stopped growing for a while. So that's the first one, is be around people. So it's kind of 2 things, but have a mentor or a coach, or at least hang around with people who are on a journey too, but maybe are a step further ahead than you. So you've got something to aspire to. Mm-hmm. Second thing I would say is, you're never going to feel 100% confident to do all of the things that you need to do. You sometimes just
do it anyway.
You have to be, you have to pretend to be confident, and so there's so many things I've done over the last 12 years that I wasn't ready to do. And I just did them because I wanted to do the work. I wanted to be successful. And you just get on with it. And the more you do things, the easier they become. I did a business retreat quite a few years ago now, with Dr. Joanna Martin, where I was learning how to speak and sell from the stage and run events. And she just kept saying, do your first live event just to get it done. Don't pin any hopes on it. Don't expect anything. Just do it. And then you've done your first one, and you'll never have to do your first one again. And then you've got your second one to improve. So just get on with it is my second tip. My third tip would probably be visualization. I didn't even know what manifestation was until about 5-6 years ago. And I realized when I heard about it that I've been doing it all my life for all sorts of things, just naturally. And it still just works without any effort. If I focus on where I want to go and what I want to achieve, and certain people sometimes that I want to bring into my life or into my business, it doesn't happen immediately, but almost always over time. The more I think about it and imagine things going well, or that person, things just start to happen. So yeah, it's that positive mindset again, I suppose.
Having a vision.
Knowing what you want to achieve, so that you've got a chance of getting there.
It's true though. When you want to go to somewhere, what do? You put it on your sat nav. You put the address. It takes you exactly where you want to go. So your brain works just like that. If you don't tell your brain where you want to go, it will be reactive rather than proactive, and you'll be doing so many things that may get you there eventually, but you'll feel exhausted. You'll feel like you're not doing enough. You'll feel you're not enough, and that is not true. It's just like Forbes Riley she's also going to be one of my speakers next week. She's one of my mentors as well, and she always says, when you call a restaurant, if you want to order food, you don't say, just send me something, I'm hungry. You order it. You want Caesar salad with a bit of crouton on it. What happens? Half an hour later, you've got your salad with croutons on it there.
Yeah. It's so
manifestation true. Is so important.
Yeah, I love that.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Okay, my last question is going to be, Helen, for you today is, what does confident mean for you?
Oh, do you know what? Confidence means to me that you're not letting anything. No, it's about living a bigger and more exciting and interesting and fun life. So what I see is women who aren't feeling confident are not taking opportunities. They're not saying yes to things. They're not getting out there and having, whether it's fun or, business growth or everything starts with confidence. And if you feel confident, you lead. I can hear a funny noise. If you feel
somebody's got unmuted, I think. Oh, I muted her. There you go.
I see confidence as like the doorway to this bigger, brighter, more fun, bold life, Nothing should stop you doing anything you want to do. And if you don't feel confident, just pretend you do and just do it anyway, because God, it feels amazing when you've done something. I know you've done so many things, but when you've done things that scare you and you come out the other side and you didn't die, it feels so great. You grow every time you do it, don't you?
Oh.
So fake it till you make it.
Baby.
I say that all the time. So good. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for this. I'm just going to ask, we have got some ladies here, if anyone would like to ask any question. Michelle, did you want to ask something? Oh, no? She doesn't. Okay. There you go. Oh, I'm still learning. I have done like 500 Zoom calls.
I'm exactly the same. I ran a live event not a live event. I ran a Zoom event not last Saturday, the Saturday before, all day on Zoom with 30 women. And the amount of time I wasted clicking buttons and trying to get the right thing going at the right time. But again, that could have stopped me doing it. But I'm like, you know what? People want to be there. They want you to succeed. Nobody's sitting there hoping you mess it up. People are forgiving if you're pressing the wrong button at the wrong time. I think it's quite funny, actually.
Exactly. And if there are the people around you there to judge you because you're making a mistake, and not your kind of people anyway, so you've got to ignore them. So you need to be around with people who love you, who care for you, who want your success and help your success. It's so important. I loved it. I'm going to recap what you've said because it's so inspirational. So ladies, don't hesitate to get a mentor and coach, because they believe in you more than you believe in yourself, and they'll always remind you. Having a coach, mentor, someone who helps you visualize where you can be is so important. I think you gave 4. I'm going to count. Having a right tribe, people who believe in you around you, who support you, who are higher level, who've done better than you because they inspire you. I love having people who are higher level than me, because I go, oh my goodness, I can do that. How could she do that? So rather than just sitting there thinking, oh, how did she do that? I always feel so inspired by them. So that's the second thing I think you were saying. The third thing was, I was just taken away. Remind me, Helen.
No idea. What was it? It was
having vision, manifestation.
Yeah,
manifestation.
And did I say just pretending like you'll never be ready to do?
Oh
things?
Yeah, pretend you'll never be fully confident. Just fake it till you make it.
No, you're never ready. You're never fully prepared. Every webinar, the first time I ran a webinar, I was shaking to do. I just didn't want to do it, but I knew that it was going to be hopefully a success. I knew it was the next thing for me, and it bloody worked. I did it. I was terrified. Everyone loved it, and it worked. And I got some new business from it. And the next time I did it, I loved it.
My first webinar, I look at back now. You can only see top of my head. I was so nervous. I can hear it. I can see on my body language. I was so nervous. I still get nervous when I come online and I forget my words. I feel like I need to make a note, and I always forget to make notes. I just think, okay, I'm just going to be natural, because I love being natural. And when I try to read off a script, I make it look so staged.
I can't do that either. I've tried to do that recently, and I just can't. I just need to be in the moment. And I just said this before, but nobody wants perfect. As a viewer, somebody that's joining in anything, nobody wants slick operations that feels like it's untouchable for you. We're all dealing with human beings. We're all human, and
there is no such thing called perfect, is there?
Boring. Perfect's boring.
Perfect is boring. Be excellent. Don't be perfect.
Yeah, be you. Be more you. I'm forever saying that to my clients. Be more you. Everybody else is taken.
You do better than anybody else. Do you, ladies? Do you?
Yeah.
Thank you, Helen. It has been a real pleasure. We all had our daily dose of confidence booster today from you. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I hope you all had fun, ladies. See you tomorrow, same time, same link. I will see you tomorrow with Susie Grant. She is absolutely amazing. She's She's just wonderful. She talk about alternative aging and how you must never be invisible after the age 60.
Oh,
She is
yay.
fabulous. See you
Brilliant.
tomorrow. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Melanie.
guys. Bye.
Bye. Oh, every